Hello, Zoe. Okay, are you ready for another book? This one's called I Get So Hungry by Bebe Campbell. Is illustrated by Amy Bates. Okay, are you ready to eat some things? Nom, nom, nom. You ready to read a book? Wonderful. Ready, set, go. On the first day of school, I walked into my new classroom, and standing in the middle is a rainbow woman. "Good morning," she says as kids stream into the room. "My name is Mrs. Theodora Patterson. I'm your new teacher." She pulls a hat from the box by the desk and places it on her head. "The first day of school is thinking cap day," she says with a wink, then laughs. My friends, Keisha, Sarah, and I laugh too. While Mrs. Patterson is taking attendance, Sarah asks Keisha, what did you do this summer?" "Went to my grandma in Atlanta," Keisha says. "Went to visit my grandma in Atlanta," someone repeats in a pretend baby voice. It is Arnold Inksley. We roll our eyes. "I went to camp," Sarah says. "I hiked." They looked at me. "I stayed home," I say. "Ate everything in the house," Arnold says. "Hey, supersize! Don't break the desk." "Not funny," Sarah tells Arnold. "Potato chips always make me feel better when I'm sad. No one is supposed to eat in class, but I can't resist. When Mrs. Patterson isn't looking, I slip my hand into my lunchbox and sneak a few chips. I'm still a little sad at lunchtime. I swallow my mom's fried chicken, 2 biscuits, a thick piece of cake, and a soda so fast I can barely taste them. I gobble down half of Keisha's sandwich and Sarah's banana too. Once I start eating, it's hard to stop. Holy man, Zoe, I feel like this was written for me. After a while, Mrs. Patterson takes off her hat and blows a whistle. "It's a read to a friend time," she announces. "Come on," Sarah says, and I follow her to the book basket. "Once upon a time, there was a beautiful princess," she reads. Princesses are always skinny. During reading time, I hear crunching. Mrs. Patterson pretends that she is looking in her purse for something. Then she coughs, and I see her shove a cookie in her mouth. I can hear Mrs. Patterson breathing when she gets up and walks to the blackboard. She starts writing numbers. When Mrs. Patterson has finished, she takes a big floppy hat from her box and places it on her head. All the kids laugh. "Is there a problem?" she asks. "Yes, there is a problem," the class says. "A math problem." A few of us raise our hands, and a tall boy in the back says, "Ooh, I know. Mrs. Patterson calls on me. "What's the answer, Nikki?" 14, I say with a great big smile. Mrs. Patterson smiles back at me. "Good for you," she says. "Nicky Thicky is Fatty Patty's pet," Arnold whispers. "Be quiet, Arnold," Keisha says to the other as the other kids laugh. I want to say something mean, but I sneak more potato chips. I pretend that each chip is Arnold Inksley, and I eat until he is gone. Keisha, Sarah, and I sit together on the way home. We sing radio songs. I sing the lead, and they do the backup. Everyone on the bus claps at the end. When we grow up, we're going to start a real singing group, Nikki and the Harmonies. Ooh. "Bye, Nicky Thicky," Arnold calls out as the bus stops. Mom and I have fried fish, French fries, and soda for dinner. Every time I think about Arnold and the skinny princesses, I eat some more. In October, Mom and I visit Dr. Chavez for checkups. After he weighs us, he shakes his head. "No more junk food," he says. "Absolutely," Mom says. She smiles at Dr. Chavez and nods. When we reach our block, I can hear the donuts calling, "Nikki, come to me. Nikki, come taste me. Nikki, please eat me." "Let's have a donut," Mom says. "It's been a long morning. We deserve a little treat." On Monday, when I go to my classroom, there's a stranger at Mrs. Patterson's desk. Later, I hear the other teachers whispering. One says, "Close call." Another says, "Too heavy." When I get home, I ask Mom, "Can we go on a diet?" "A diet?" Mom laughs. "We come from a long line of big-boned women. We'll never be skinny minis." But I don't want to be so big anymore. "Fatty Patty's back," whispers Arnold when we return to school after Christmas. Mrs. Patterson is back too, but something is different about her. Her pants and top seem too large, and she is wearing sneakers. All day she sips from a bottle of water. She doesn't crunch once. The next morning, when Keisha, Sarah, and I arrive at school, we see Mrs. Patterson walking around the schoolyard very slowly. Mrs. Patterson now walks every day. "My New Year's resolution is to eat less and exercise more," she tells me. I hope she doesn't turn into a skinny mini. In class, she puts on her silly bookworm hat, but I don't laugh. I feel hungry and lonesome. At home, I tell my mom what Mrs. Patterson is doing. I reach out for chips, then stop. If Mrs. Patterson says it's okay, may I walk with her before school? I'll take the early bus. Mom gives me a funny look. "Okay," she says. Every morning, Mrs. Patterson and I walk. "What do you do when you get hungry?" I ask her one day. "I don't get as hungry because I eat lots of good food." "You eat a lot? But you're getting thinner." "Yes, because I eat the right things," she says. "No sodas, no fried food, and fruits and vegetables instead of cakes and donuts." "What about potato chips?" I ask. "A few, but only once in a while." "What's the matter, Nikki?" I start to cry. "My mom won't buy me the food you eat." "Well, what if you try to eat a little less and move a lot more? And only eat when you're hungry, not when you're sad or angry or bored. If you fill your life with interesting things to do, you won't feel so hungry all the time." What do you like to do?" "Sing," she says. Or I say, "Let me hear you." I sing a few notes. That's beautiful. In the spring, Mom comes for teacher conference. At the end, I hear her say, "Mrs. Patterson, how did you lose all that weight since I saw you last?" "I've cut junk food out of my diet, and I'm walking every day. Nikki has been a great morning partner," Mrs. Patterson says. "Maybe I'll be your weekend partner," Mom says to me. The first Saturday, I have to pull Mom out of bed. We walk around the block once, very slowly. But by the end of the first month, she can go around 5 times. That Monday, I can't wait to tell Mrs. Patterson. "Thicky Nicky," Arnold Inksley yells at my teacher, as my teacher and I are smiling together. "Hey, Arnold, open your eyes. The only thing fat around here is your mouth," Keisha and Sarah say. Even Arnold Inksley laughs. The sound fills me up better than potato chips. The end. That was, I feel like, the book that I needed today, Zoe. Thanks for reading with me.